have so many seeds I gotta start, but nowhere to start them. I mean, my partner literally has these like giant greenhouses over here, but he's literally already filled them to the brim. So there's not enough room in there to comfortably start all the seeds I want to grow for the new season. So I ordered my own greenhouse and it finally arrived. But before busting it out the box, I have to get the area that I want the greenhouse in ready before I throw down a greenhouse. It is a really beautiful 8x10 greenhouse. So I think it's gonna fit in this area of this flower bed really nicely. Of course, I'm gonna lose space in the flower garden, but I'm gonna gain so much space for seedlings and for things that I can grow in a protected area like the greenhouse. Before putting the greenhouse down, I do have to prep this area. I have a lot of perennials that I have in here and I'm gonna have to rehome them. So the first step is definitely gonna be uprooting a lot of these plants, placing them in containers until I find out where they're gonna go. Then I have to edge the foundation. I think I'm gonna lay down cinder blocks to create the edging that I want, and then some 4x4s as well. Fill it in with gravel, and that's gonna create the base for my greenhouse so I can lay that on top comfortably. But yeah, before doing all that, I gotta get all these plants out. I have some, I know I have echinacea in here. Luckily they're dormant, so now is a pretty decent time to transplant them. Oh, my poor crispy plants. I definitely have some blue stem grasses. Oh, this is one of my faves here. Oh, you're already starting to come up. I'm sorry, you're gonna hate this, but I gotta do what I gotta do. This is a poppy mallow. It has beautiful, beautiful fuchsia flowers. I'm definitely gonna move this. It's a crawler, so it stays pretty low to the ground. Again, not sure where all of these plants are going to go. I'm gonna make sure they're potted up nicely so they can smoothly transition into whatever's next. It's gonna be really fun though, when I'm building the greenhouse, when it's in place, to actually like decorate around the greenhouse with the plants. It's gonna look so beautiful. I also have my cattle panel arch trellises over here. These are definitely gonna have to move because the greenhouse is definitely gonna come up to them, if not a little bit beyond them, or right at them, I'm not sure. But it's gonna create so much shade behind the actual greenhouse. I don't think anything's gonna realistically be able to grow there. So I'm gonna have to move these cattle panel arches somewhere else. I'm thinking here next to this one to create like a true tunnel moment. Or if not, over here. The pathway here is definitely much longer, so I think it would make a lot more sense here. Especially since I am growing squash here this season. It'll be nice to create a squash tunnel! Oh my god, that's what I'm doing. But okay, enough chit-chatting. It's time to get to work and start uprooting all this. Let's get into it. I love these so much. They're so cute. I'm gonna measure how much room I'm gonna allocate just so I know exactly like what's gotta go. The greenhouse is 8x10, but I think the foundation I'm gonna make a bit wider, maybe like 8.5 by 11, just so I have wiggle room to like actually place the greenhouse. Yeah. Everything inside these markers, gotta go. It's not that much. I feel like it looks like more than it actually is. We'll see. When you actually start digging, that's when you really feel it. To dig up these plants, I'm gonna use this little digging fork and a little shovel. I think this is gonna be exactly what I need. This is really sturdy, and with like the open spaces in between the fork, I think that's gonna be perfect for like getting in between the roots and really loosening stuff up. This is such a good time for this because it actually rained over the past 2 days, so the soil is nice and moist and loose. That's gonna make this so much easier. I'm sorry, babes. I know y'all was vibing here. Next thing I know, I have a ton of in here. Echinacea. Sorry. I always feel so bad doing this because it can be so traumatic for them. It's a good root system. It's always so fascinating to me, like obviously on top, it looks dead AF, but you know, this root system is still very much alive. And you can get a good feeling if that's true when you're moving plants like this or uprooting plants, because they're still very latched into the soil. I feel like whenever I have plants that have died, it is so easy to uproot them. Like there's no traction, there's no grip in the soil. These are definitely still hanging in there. Perennials. Spring is in the air, fam. I don't know if you can really tell what's going on here, but there's some new growth coming up on this one. Gotta get these rehomed as quickly as possible, honestly. While we still have some cool weather, it's very easy to transition and rehome plants in cooler, moist weather. Because you know, the soil's moist, it'll be easier for them to acclimate and sprawl out, get those roots locked in. Much harder to transplant in drier weather. All right, so I think I got everything out that I can see. Now I'm gonna go get the actual cinder blocks and the wood, just so I have that ready to go, and then I'm gonna start creating my foundation. BRB. So we got our supplies. I got a ton of cinder blocks and these 4x4s. Now I just need to cut them to size. So my wood is cut. I think the next thing I'm going to do is actually stain that wood, because I want it stained. I want everything to look and have the same color so that it can match the chicken run. So I got more of that redwood stain. I think it'll look so beautiful when everything all comes together. But yeah, I'm gonna stain that first, and while that's staining, I'm gonna prep this area to start laying blocks down. I love staining. It is so satisfying. I feel like it never hurts to add like an extra layer of protection, especially while making things look that much more beautiful. Wood is stained. Now to get this ground ready. So this ground is definitely not level. So that's something I'm definitely gonna need to square up before putting a greenhouse down. I don't want a lopsided greenhouse. So I think I'm just gonna pull some of this dirt over this way, try to smooth it out a little bit, but I really won't know for sure until I get those wooden boards here. I'm gonna lay those down, then put a level on the pieces of wood, and that'll help me determine just how level this ground is before placing cinder blocks and doing all that, you know? There's all this like biomatter and like mulch. I'm not like too concerned about all that. It's all gonna get covered up eventually. The thing about dirt too is that it is so deceiving. Like, to get dirt level, you need a lot more dirt than it actually looks like. Also, it's not like just about being level going this way. It's gotta be level going that way. What do you say? Is it giving level? You can't tell. Oh, I'm so sorry. I just whacked the shit out of you. It's a grub. Ow. The moment of truth. Damn. Is there any more over here? Oh my God, we need a lot more. Damn. Bubba's. Okay. Is it giving level? More! I am gonna level it a little more and then maybe start laying down that cinder block. It started raining, so I had to run. But I did. She's level. I don't know if you can tell. She in the middle. Well, close enough. Bruno, do not be digging up my hole. I just leveled it. I feel like another thing that makes this kind of hard to level is our garden is actually on a hill. So like everything's on a slant. So the optical illusions be opticalin'. But I'm happy with this. Y'all saw that bubble. I think I'm gonna start laying down this brick. I think I got my measurements wrong. Damn. So we're on day 2 of getting this foundation just right. I'm gonna be real with y'all. Struggling a little bit. I wanna make sure this is like gonna be done right, but it's harder than I thought. But that's okay. We're gonna get it done. So I have the wood frame just kind of laid down so I know exactly where I want this placed. And it's nice because like I can put the level on pretty easily and determine if it's level or not. But there's definitely some more dirt that needs to be moved around before I can actually get in there and start laying this brick, laying the gravel, and start building this greenhouse. So wish me luck. This is so trippy. So according to the level, this is level. Doesn't that look real crook? But it's such an optical illusion because the garden itself is on a slant. So I guess that's level and my world is just crooked. I definitely need to get more dirt and fill in around the edges. Because if I'm bringing up the earth this much, I'm worried that if it rains, all of this will just kind of wash out. So I really gotta pack it in there. There's a lot more work than I thought it was gonna be, but I'm having fun. So I think it's level. I think it's exactly where I need it to be. Now I'm going in and seeing how it looks with the bricks. It looks so good. My sides are nice and mounded now. As mounded as I can get it. I'm gonna start laying down the brick underneath the wood. You see I already started here. Hopefully that'll really like even things out, give it that really strong support I'm looking for in my foundation. And at a later time, I'll probably continue to mound on the edges here because I definitely need this to be strong and secure in case of an intense storm, because we do be having those here. Let's lay some brick. One thing I didn't account for, I hope this is like the exact length. Like the width of the bricks, I hope it meets clean. I'll start from the outside and work my way in. I envision all of this getting covered in mulch eventually anyway, so you might not even see the brick. Hell yeah. Our brick is laid! So, I definitely overestimated how many bricks I was gonna need, so I have a lot of extra ones. And, again, I didn't really measure here properly and do the math, so I ended up with these gaps here. But I think that's gonna be really lovely for drainage. I might put some screens here so the gravel that I end up putting in here doesn't just spill out. There is a trench over here on this left side. I think I'm gonna put some type of like conduit to like properly run drainage out of here so water doesn't build up and it just kind of runs down the hill instead. Also, I have a lot of cinder blocks left over. I think I'm gonna use them on this side and build a little retaining wall, because I'm still concerned that there isn't enough of a grade on the mound here to like properly hold this side and stay that way, especially if it rains a lot. So I think having that retaining wall is gonna be the perfect amount of reinforcement that I need. That worked out so great! Once my retaining wall is in, I can start laying in gravel. To the retaining wall! Planting some shade plants in here would be nice. It's not gonna get a lot of light because greenhouse.
It'll be good.
But the roots will definitely add more of that structural integrity. Period. Okay. Hi friends, it's a new day of working on the greenhouse. So just a quick update. I did opt for putting weed barrier down. Luckily enough, we had a piece of weed barrier that was the exact size that I needed for my base. My bricks are laid. I did end up putting grates in front of the holes here because I am gonna start laying gravel in here. I don't want any of that gravel to like spill out. And also probably stop critters or anything from like trying to get in through the holes. Here's what I mean by I put grates in front of the holes. When it does fill in with gravel, I think it's gonna look pretty cool. Slay! Oh my gosh. Time to start laying. These stairs are kind of just a work in progress. Don't know if that's exactly what it's gonna be like, but just wanted to, I guess, start thinking of ideas for steps up, because it's definitely gonna need a step up. It's pretty high up there. But let's get it! So on the back end of the property, we have our old greenhouses, and we have the floor covered in pea gravel. Well, we are completely dismantling those greenhouses because we built the new ones, which have their own set of pea gravel. So I have all this pea gravel, and I'm like, might as well use it. I think it'll look so nice in here, but it's far. I have to get a lot of it. So. Days like this where I wish I was an earthbender. I could just I'll just stick to cabbages. Oh my god. 72 buckets of gravel later. Our foundation is just about ready. Soon we can start building! I am so excited. It's gonna rain quite a bit this week, but hopefully we can get it in soon. Abundance! The rain has finally broken after like 2 straight days of pouring. So I finally have the chance to start working on this greenhouse. Let's get into it. Before actually getting in here and building this thing, I think it's gonna make more sense to lay down the pieces for the foundation of the greenhouse and get a sense of how big the base is to really see if what I have here is appropriate for this greenhouse. I really hope I don't need to add more gravel. I don't want to go up that hill again. In hindsight, I probably should have looked at the instruction manual before doing this, because I'm sure they talk about the foundation there. It's okay, it's custom. It is nice to see that after so many days of raining, like straight rain, she's holding up. Oh my god, it's gonna fit in here so well. Usually, you know, when you build a greenhouse, you build the foundation so the greenhouse sits right on top of it. I actually wanted, this is more so for personal aesthetic reasons, don't know how it's actually going to play out. I will find a means of like attaching the wood to the actual foundation, but I wanted to sit within the gravel and have a little bit more of this like outer edge. I thought in my head, I feel like it's something that would look nice. And then within the gravel, you know, just to make sure that the greenhouse is really like secured to the ground and not gonna blow away in case of any storm, I bought these metal pipes that I'm gonna hammer into the ground within the greenhouse and attach to the inner walls of the greenhouse with C-clamps. I think that's really gonna lock it in place. Hi, Bubba. Hi, Bubba. Okay, we're gonna build a new greenhouse. I think you'll like it. As per the instructions, we're gonna start with the front and back wall. Let's do it. I don't know why, but I'm nervous. I hope it works out. I hope it works out. I think it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. The first screw. know. Okay, you're gonna post up right there? It's gonna be a little loud, Bubba's. These are my wall panels. Really cute. And you can see the way the stain laid on the wood. It didn't stick too much because there was actually already a coating over this wood. It didn't really lay on how I expected, but it definitely still gave it a nice tint that at least matches the baseboards. So these should just like slide in. Oh. Period. This one went in fabulous. Okay, so it's coming along. If I haven't mentioned, this is a Yardistry greenhouse. They're 8x10 frame. And it's really nice. It does come with everything you need to build the greenhouse. So far, so good. It's going pretty smooth. Now here's the thing. I might not follow the directions exactly. That's exactly what someone says before it all goes to shit. They're already wanting me to put in the polycarbonate windows. I actually think I'm gonna save that step for later because I want to get the actual like base of the structure built. I don't know how long this is gonna take me. We do have some more rain forecasted. I don't want to leave this out and exposed with polycarbonate like lying open like that. I want to like do the polycarbonate all in like one go rather than like piece by piece. I'd rather get all the wood base done and then do the poly. So I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit. I want to get like the structure itself built first. Will I regret it? Excuse me. Excuse me. No. Bruno, excuse me. Oh my gosh, I love this for me. Oh, she went in so smooth. Time for the sidewalls. Hi, Merlin. I got all my sidewalls built. I am gonna go inside for the night and continue this in the morning. It is so cold now, but we are that much closer. Can't wait to piece it all together. It's time to piece this baby together. So easy. We have our walls! Ah! It looks so good!
Abundance!
Isn't she beautiful? I'm so excited. Now the next thing we need to prepare are the window sills where the polycarbonate panels are gonna slide into. Wow, it fits perfect! So with polycarbonate, something you really want to be conscious of, they do have it labeled pretty easily on the plastic. One side has a UV coating, one side does not. You want the side with the UV coating facing outward so that it does what it's supposed to do with the rays of the sun. Not exactly sure what it is, but it's doing something. Just peel up a little bit. Before putting on the poly, you want to make sure you seal off the edges so no moisture gets in it. Now there is a specific tape that goes on the top and the bottom. The bottom tape is a little bit more porous, or it'll usually have holes so that if any condensation does get within the panels, at least there's a means for the moisture to get out. Now we're gonna slide this baby in. Oh my goodness. Oh my god, it just that is so satisfying. Oh my god, it just slides right in. This is so annoying. They provided the screws, but they use different heads. And only give you one head. Girl, don't do this. Y'all lucky I got another head. I'm hungry now, so I would have been real pissed. I am pissed.
Si así fueran todos los trabajos.
So here we are at the end of today. We have so much poly in. Ah! It's coming together. The inside is so cute, and now that it's actually built, you really get a sense of like how spacious it is. Abundance. Now the next step is going to be getting our roof in place. It's a new day of building the greenhouse. Last night it was so windy. I got so anxious. I was like, please don't blow my greenhouse away. But she's still standing, which is a really good sign. Whew. And this is without anchoring her down, so she's tough. Homegirl is tough. That's a really good sign. It's time to get in here and get started on the roof. It is a new day of working on the greenhouse. We have our entire roof up, which is so exciting. We are getting so close. Let's take a look. The closer we get to finishing, the more excited I get. I love how it's turning out. Last night, I just couldn't rest without getting this roof done. We have all the polycarbonate laid, which is wonderful. And it rained so much last night, so it was a good way to like test out how good these are. We actually did not get much moisture in here. All the moisture that came in was obviously from the giant hole where the door should be, but we should probably get that done today. I'd say the most challenging thing to set up on the roof was this little fixture right here. So this is like an automated window opener. I don't know the official term for it, but if it gets too hot in here, this little cylinder will activate and it'll actually open up the window here to let out any excess heat, which is really neat, but it was really frustrating to put together and actually drill on here. But I guess time will tell. We'll just have to wait until it gets hot enough to see if it works. It's a really fragile little thing, so you can't like work it too much, so I can't really test it. We'll just have to wait and see. And we had to put 2 of them in, so it was twice the hassle. But nonetheless, the roof is up. I love how it's looking. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. It's really coming together. The next step on the instructions is to lay down the shelves and the benches, which is where, you know, the plants and stuff will go, the workstation. But before I do that, I am gonna get some metal pipes and hammer them in here and anchor it to the greenhouse just to get that extra support. Last night that storm was crazy. We got some intense winds. Luckily, I mean, it's a very sound structure. Like she is sturdy and pretty heavy. Like I don't necessarily feel like she's going anywhere, but I feel like that storm last night was a baby compared to the kinds of storms we've been getting here with the intense winds. So I don't want to take any chances. I'm going to do what I need to do to make sure she's extra secure because I'm working so hard on this. It would be so heartbreaking if this just blew away. So let's hammer in some pipe. That's good. Locked in, babe. So to really lock this in here, the pipe is about 2 feet in the ground. I have it screwed into the base of the greenhouse, and then I have an extra screw into that C-clamp to really lock everything into place. Doing this on 4 parts of the greenhouse should really lock it in. We are locked in. Oh my gosh. She is more secure than ever. Now it's time to go in and work on the shelving. We got benches! Ah! Oh my gosh. We're almost there! Look at her. She's beautiful. The final step, putting on the door. My hatch works! It worked! It worked! Yeah. A door! We got a door! Come on in. Bruno, come on!
Yay, Bruno!
And just like that, the garden greenhouse is done! This wasn't part of the kit, but I actually got some L brackets and drilled the greenhouse to the 4x4 just to get them attached and add that extra layer of stability and security. One more thing that I am going to do that wasn't part of the kit, but they do really recommend getting one, especially if you don't have the greenhouse attached to an actual foundation. I got an anchoring kit. So I'm literally gonna pull a string over the greenhouse and anchor it down to the ground. Not sure when I'm gonna do that, but relatively soon. A really neat feature is this little mesh guard for the vents that open. You screw in a button and it literally just pops on and off, which is really neat, a really great thing for helping repel any bugs from the greenhouse. The garden greenhouse is done! I had so much fun building this greenhouse. Overall, it took like 4 days of actually building with an additional like 2 or 3 days to get the foundation done. So like a week to get it up and running. Not that long at all. If I didn't mention it prior, the greenhouse itself was actually like $1,500. It was on sale at Costco. And I mean, for that price, we got a really beautiful and sturdy greenhouse. And it came with literally everything that I needed to get her up and running. I cannot wait to start decorating it and getting plants planted around it and really making it feel like a part of the garden. It's gonna be so much fun. I'm also super excited to get in here and fill this up with plants. Now the goal of the greenhouse is definitely going to be starting seedlings in here and growing a variety of plants that I can't grow in the garden because of pests like eggplant. Oh my god, the eggplant's gonna be so safe and secure in here. Ah, I can't wait. I can't really speak just yet on how well it retains heat. I think over the winter months, it'll probably be beneficial to get a little space heater to warm the space in here, especially if I'm starting seedlings. It'll definitely be a good place to like house seedlings, but to start them, they definitely need to be a bit warmer in order to germinate. I don't have any electricity set up in here. I do have some power banks that I'm probably gonna have in here if I need any additional power, but especially since the ventilation system is automated and it's dependent on temperature, runs on its own without electricity, I don't really feel like I'm gonna need much electric power in here. But time will tell. We do have quite a few more days of like really cold weather, like below 20 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm gonna wait until that passes until I actually move all of the seeds and seedlings that I have started in here. They are gonna get exposed to full sun in here. Well, it'll be kind of indirect. It's gonna be a little diffused with the polycarbonate. It's gonna be so much easier to transition the seedlings from in here to the garden because of how much more light they're gonna be getting exposed to. Ah, what a gift, what a blessing. I'm so grateful. Guys, this is my first greenhouse, like my first greenhouse. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh, this is like my new favorite place in the garden. Abundance! I really hope you all enjoyed watching me build the new garden greenhouse. If you have any questions or tips or comments on having a greenhouse, please let me know down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave an abundance down in the comments. Thank you so much for tuning in. See you guys. Bye.